everyone. Welcome to today's workshop on Medicare. We're having Mr. Anthony Gallant from State Farm that's going to be presenting today, and we appreciate his being willing to do this for us. But let's start off in prayer. Also we have the QR code if you want that you can sign in online. If you have questions during the sessions, you're also free to ask those questions online. All right. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. It's a beautiful day. It's a sunny day. It's a Saturday that you've given us at the end of this very September. We thank you for all your blessings, and we thank you for allowing us to come together today to hear this information and hopefully make use of it in our lives as we age and as we continue to age in this life. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anthony Gallant. I'm the operator and owner of the Anthony Gallant State Farm Agency here in Gastonia. And first, I would like to thank Center Baptist Church, along with Dr. Pierre Crawford, for allowing us, the Anthony Gallant State Farm Agency, to participate in the Life Happens After the Benedictions series. Also like to thank Don Johnson for always being in the forefront of providing education to the community. And again, thanks Center Baptist so much for always being a leader and making sure that the community is educated and has the information to make informed decisions about things that affect their lives. So today we are going to have an educational seminar on Medicare and Medicare Advantage plans. So it's so important with open enrollment coming up on October the 15th through December the 7th that you have the information you need to make an informed decision about something that's so critical to your day-to-day health and your day-to-day living. So today what we're going to do, we're going to take it from an ABC perspective to provide an education overview of Medicare and what does Medicare Advantage plans do, what can they do for you. And it's very important because we really can't discuss the specific benefits and specific exciting new plans that we are going to be offering through Humana until tomorrow, October the 1st. That's a very regulated situation, so it's going to be very educational in scope. And we will obviously, if you decide that you want to get additional information, you'll be glad to voluntarily take your information and follow back up with you after October the 1st to give you some specifics on the exciting plans that we have through Humana. And we are a Humana certified vendor. Humana has some great products. They're well known and represented within the Medicare Advantage world. And also you partner the programs of Humana with the Anthony Gallant State Farm Agency, an agency that I'm sure Center Baptist knows very well and the people in the community know very well. And I think it's all about who can you deal with someone you trust, someone who has integrity in the insurance world and within this community. So that's one of the big benefits of that we offer through the Anthony Gallant State Farm Agency. Additionally, today my team member Norma Caldwell is actually going to lead the presentation today. She has a vast amount of experience in this field. She will be the main contact through my agency for anyone who will be interested in learning more about the Humana Advantage plans that we offer through Humana. And she will go through the slides. She will make sure that she has all the contact information that you would need to have to contact her. And she'll be willing to answer any questions you may have. So we look forward to, excuse me, to a very engaging presentation. We are here to answer any questions. Again, I must reiterate, we cannot talk about the specific plans until tomorrow, October the 1st. That's when we can talk about all the exciting new plans that we have to offer through Humana. And I tell you, it is some great new plans that Humana will be offering for 2024. That's when the effective date starts, so January the 1st, 2024. So we were just excited because this is the first time that we have really participated in a Medicare Advantage plans, and what a great partner to have in Humana. You cannot ask for a better partner to have than Humana to represent and present plans to offer to the community. And this is, again, you know who we are, we know who you are, and we will be there to answer questions. We'll be there to make sure that your needs are being met. We'll be there to make sure that, you know, we take care of you. You're just not a number or birth date to the Anthony Gallant State Farm Agency. We know your name. We know where you go to church. We know where you go to school. So this is an advantage that we will bring to you if you decide to, you know, allow us to take care of your Medicare Advantage needs. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Norma, who will go through the PowerPoint presentation. And then obviously we want to leave some room for questions, because this is a very engaging type of topic that everyone, you know, very interested in and has a big stake in. So Norma's going to go through it, the ABCs of Medicare. Then she's going to talk about some Medicare Advantage plans. Well, not the plan specifically, but what does Medicare Advantage provides for you. And then again, as I will reiterate for the third time, we cannot talk about the specific plans until October the 1st. But I will tell you, and I'm teasing you, there are some great Humana plans that they have. They have really reshaped things for the upcoming year. So I'm looking so forward to this. So I'm going to turn this over to my team member, Norma Culbreth, and she will start taking you through I call it the ABCs of Medicare and Medicare Advantage, okay? Thank you so much.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's just a pleasure to be here. And again, I want to thank the pastor, Pastor Crawford, and his congregation, and thank everyone that's going to join us and get this information. I tell you, it's really important. Medicare is really important. We all need to know about it, even if you're not 65. So you need to be 65 to get Medicare, or you can have a disability. So it's important to get the information, like for your grandparent or for your parent. It's important to know about Medicare because it's a great program. And there's a lot of confusion about Medicare, so that's why I like educating about Medicare. So like Mr. Gallant said, if you have any questions, let me know, because the more you hear about it, the more you're going to understand. And by nature, I'm a teacher, so I want people to understand things. And if you have questions, that's how you get a greater understanding. So we're going to go through a tour of Medicare. So let's get started. So today we're going to cover who's eligible for Medicare. We're going to go through that. We're going to go through the times that you can enroll in Medicare, because there's certain times that you can get the Medicare coverage, and understanding the different options that are available, and also looking at other resources that you can contact to get more information about Medicare. So we're going to go forward. Okay, okay, that worked. So maybe I wasn't pressing the right place. So when are you eligible for Medicare? So you have to be 65 years old or older. Also, a lot of people don't know, if you're receiving disability benefits for at least 2 years, and that's from Social Security, you're eligible for Medicare. People with end-stage renal disease, they're eligible for Medicare. If you have like a chronic condition, like diabetes, some type of heart condition, you're eligible for Medicare. If you're a citizen and been in this country for 5 consecutive years, you're eligible for Medicare as well. Okay, so when can you enroll in Medicare? So this is really important, the time frame. So we're in October now, so we're getting ready what's called the annual open enrollment. So that's a very important time. So that's October 15th to December 7th. So that's when, if you don't have Medicare, you can enroll. If you have Medicare, you can drop it, and you can change to the original Medicare. And that's getting a little bit ahead, so I'm gonna go back and explain some things about what original Medicare is. So if we look too at the initial enrollment period, that's a period that when you're 65, the month that you're 65, that's the initial enrollment period. 3 months before you're 65, that's also considered initial enrollment period. And 3 months after. So it's a 7-month period. 3 months before, the month you're 65, and 3 months after. So before you get 65, the federal government is going to send you a card, a Medicare card. You're going to get that in the mail, a Medicare card. So when you get that card, you're going to have what's called Part A and B. That's called Original Medicare, and that's offered by the federal government. Everybody that's worked in this country that played Social Security is eligible for Medicare. So you're going to get a Medicare card, and it's going to be Parts A and Parts B. Part A is hospital coverage. That's what you can use when you go into the hospital. It's inpatient hospital coverage. Part B is called medical insurance, and that's for when you go to the doctor's office, or if you preventive care is part of Part B as well. So original Medicare is from the federal government, is Parts A and B. So when you are 65, the month you're 65, 3 months before you're 65, when you're 65 and 3 months after, you're eligible for that, what's called original Medicare, Parts A and B. So when you enroll in that, you're not going to be able to start it until you're 65. So even though it's 3 months before you enroll in it, but you can't start until the month that you're 65. Now, if you roll in it after you're 65, then the month after you enroll is when you're eligible to start the benefits. So we have the initial period, that 7-month period, then the annual period. So if you enrolled in a Medicare plan, say in the initial period, and it got to be October 15th, then you could change your plan. You can get an Advantage, what's called the Medicare Advantage plan, and that's called Part C. So have Parts A and B, which is original. Then you can enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan, which is called C, and we're gonna, we'll look at that as we go along, because C is gonna provide more. It's gonna provide A and B benefits, the hospital and the doctor, plus additional things like vision, dental, hearing. So that's why people really like the Medicare Advantage plan, because it offers additional benefits. But again, when we sit down and talk to you, we're gonna see what's gonna fit your needs, what's gonna be best for you. So those are the periods: the initial period, the annual enrollment period. Then it talks about special election periods. So due to certain circumstances, like if you move out of an area, if you develop a chronic condition, then you can enroll outside of those initial and annual periods. But that's something we can talk about when we sit down and look at what's going to be good for you. So we're going to look at understanding the Medicare options. So I talked about the original Medicare, which is Parts A and B, and there's the card, that red, blue, and white card that you're going to get, and it has Medicare Part A and B and the effective dates on it. So that's from the federal government. You're going to get that from the government, A and B. So here are when the options come in. So when you, let's look at the initial enrollment period, that 7-month period. So you have the initial Medicare, A and B. So you have to have that in order to enroll in C. So when you get that card from the government, you can keep that A and B, and that can be it. Or you can also enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan, which is called Part C. And that includes Part A. And another thing about that is coming from a private insurance company. So that original Medicare is federal government. That Medicare Part C is going to come from a private company, but those companies, the insurance companies like our agency that offers that, we're contracted. We're with Humana, and Humana is contracted with the federal government to offer those plans. So it encompasses Parts A and B, and then it adds additional benefits, which makes it really good. It adds the dental and the vision, and also the hearing. And then in addition to that, it can offer a prescription drug plan, which is called Part D. So that's why I said it's really good to keep hearing these, because you hear all these alphabets and it can be confusing. So, and that's why it's good to have an agent that you trust too, that you can sit down and really get the full understanding, because this is an overview. So I know, we're not going to get everything in this overview, but it'll give you a general idea of how, things work. And you can understand it, especially if you sit down with someone, tell them what your circumstances are, and then they can tailor something to fit your needs. And it's important that the person you're dealing with explains what you're getting, what this is, like, the parts A and B, what you're going to get with that. What are you going to get when you get Medicare Advantage to C? What are your needs? Do you have a chronic condition? And there's plans that can help with that, and that Medicare Advantage plan really can help with that. So we have that the parts A and B, and then C, which encompasses A and B and provides the extra. And then we also have what's called Part D, and that is the drug plan, your prescription drug plan. So with that Medicare Advantage, you can get all of those things together and have like one payment. Or you can keep your original Medicare, that A and B, and get independent D, just for your prescription drugs. So again, it depends on what your needs are. So this is Part C, and it's talking about the advantages of having the C. You get your A and B together, and you can also get your D with the C. Okay, so this is the types of Advantage plans. So when you see MA, that's Medicare Advantage plans. So there's different types of Medicare Advantage plans to fit your different needs, to fit your budget, to fit your health. So there's different plans, so that's why it's important to sit down with someone to tell them what your needs are, and they can structure a plan that's going to fit your needs. So the HMO is one plan, and with that plan, you select a primary care physician, and that primary care physician is going to kind of orchestrate your care. And it's limited to an area, but now a lot of plans are expanding. It's not as limited, but you're normally going to have one primary care physician. So someone that has a primary care doctor that they like, that's good. If they're going to be in a certain area, that's good. And then another type is the PPO. That's for people that they want to maybe go outside of their network of doctors and get services. You might pay a little bit more for that, but some people might like that, because they might have a doctor that they like that's not in the network, like the HMO. Then you have the PFFS, the private fee for services, which you can go to any doctor and see if they'll accept Medicare. And if they accept Medicare, then you can use that doctor. So that even gives more freedom. So again, it depends on what your needs are. So it's important to have a person that you, an agent that you sit down and talk with. Now this is the Part D, the medical, the drug plan. So you can have this, if you have original Medicare, you can have the original Medicare, that A and B, and then you can add the D to get your prescription coverage, because A and B doesn't provide that. And another thing about A and B doesn't have a cap on what you pay out of pocket for your medical care. C does have a cap. C has a cap of what you're going to pay out of pocket. So you can get A and B and then have this standalone D, or you can get MA, that Medicare Advantage, that includes the D. So you can't get a Medicare Advantage that includes a D and then a separate D. But it's important to have prescription drug coverage, because you can get some plans that have a zero premium on it. So there's different plans. So you need to sit down with someone to let them know what your needs are, to see what's gonna fit you if you need the standalone. And with the prescription drug plans, they have what's called a formulary, and that's a list of drugs. So they have a list of drugs that they cover, and they're organized in what's called tiers, like usually from tier 1 to tier 5, tier 1 being the lowest cost, and tier 5 being the highest cost. So in the tier 1 normally is going to be like a generic. And I had someone ask me a question about, generic and name brand drugs, So, why would we even have generic if, I need name brand? Because a lot of people think that name brand is better, but the government makes sure that a generic prescription drug is the same as a name brand. The only difference being these name brands sometimes will add different things that really doesn't affect the medication. So the government makes sure that generic operates in your body the same as a name brand. But the name brand might have like a flavor added to it or some other thing that doesn't really affect the medication. So I think that's important. So I talked about the tiers. These are the tiers. Tier 1, this one is tier 1 to 5. Preferred generic, preferred brand. The last one is a specialty tier. So in your drug plan, it's going to list the drugs that they provide. If that drug isn't on their formulary, then you might have to pay the full cost of that drug. Or there's other ways, too, to get around that. You can actually go to the pharmaceutical companies, and they have different discounts for different drugs. So there's Part D, the prescription. So a lot of people, when they're on a lot of medication, the cost is gonna go up. So it's gonna, if it gets up to like 4,000, I think for 2023 it was $4,600. When you get up to that amount that you paid for your drugs, not only you, but also the plan, because when you're in a plan, they're paying for a portion of your drugs. You're not paying the whole portion. So when you get up to that 4,600, you go into what's called a coverage gap. And when you're in that coverage gap, you start just paying 25% of what that drug would be. Then it goes up to 7,140, And that's called the catastrophic level. So after you get to that level, then you won't be paying anything for your drugs. So not only what you're paying in, but what the plan is paying in as well. So this is Medicare. This is another plan, Medicare Supplement Insurance. So we had the original Medicare, A and B, and you can also get, that C, which includes A and B and some drugs, but you can also get that original Medicare, that A and B, and a supplemental Medicare plan. So what that does, because with A and B, when you go to the doctor, there's no limit on how much you're going to pay. You're going to have to pay co-pays, co-insurances. So Medicare Supplement can help with some of those. And this is also offered through a private insurance company, the Medicare Supplement insurance plans. So this helps with the co-pays, your out-of-pocket expenses of original Medicare. So you can add that to A and B, that Medicare Supplement, and then you can add that standalone drug plan. So it depends on what your needs are. And, most of us we're looking at our budget. I mean, we want to provide all the things we need for our medical health, but also we need to look at our budget at the same time. So a lot of these plans, you need to take in consideration what the cost of it. So there's also this is part of a Medicare Advantage plan. You can have, I talked about the different options, the HMO, the PPO, those are different plans, but this is also a plan like you can have an HMO where, you select your primary care doctor, you're staying within a certain network of doctors, but you might have a chronic condition, diabetes, something that you need constant medication for. So this is called a special needs plan that can be added to your HMO or PPO. And with these plans, usually you don't usually have a deductible. Everything is just really cost effective on these special needs plans. And then you have someone that helps you manage the care that you need. You have a team that can manage the care that you need with the special needs plan. So that's with the MA, the Medicare Advantage plans. They can have a special needs plan attached to it. So like if you have diabetes and you need like an insulin pump, even though with some HMOs you could still not be on the special needs, but I think a special need is good for someone that's on a insulin pump because it can help you with that, help you manage that, help you just manage your whole struggle with that disease. So these are the things that you should look at when you're looking at a Medicare Advantage plan. And I tried to cover some of these things as I was going along. Like you need to look at, the cost. What is it covering? Is this doctor in the network that this plan is offering me? The convenience of it. A lot of the prescription drug plans have a mail order where there's 0 premium with it. What is your medical history? What are your needs? So your plan needs to fit your current needs, and then what are your future needs going to be? That plan needs to fit that. So when you have a Medicare plan, like if you already have one, you still need to look at it every year. There might be something new on your plan. Is that plan still meeting my needs? When I first got it, I didn't have diabetes. Now I have diabetes. So what plan is going to fit my needs? Once you have a plan, it'll continue every year. You don't have to renew it, but you need to review it every year to see if it's still meeting your needs. You need to, your agent needs to talk with you every year to make sure your plan is meeting your needs. And that's something that we want to do in our agency. We want to keep contact with our clients to make sure that the plans are meeting their needs, new things come out on the plans, we want to be able to discuss those things with them as well. So there's other resources that you can look to. There's the SHIP, that's a state program that you can get information about Medicare, tell them about what your medical needs are, and they can direct you. Medicare.gov is another one, and there's a 800 number. Social Security is another good, helpful resources. But the best resource is to really have an agent that they can go over your plan with you, your needs, and then they can reach out to some of these places if they don't know the answer and get information. So I hope this was a helpful presentation, and I look to answer some questions.
As you can ascertain from listening to the presentation, A, B, C, D, I mean, how you know, can you get A and B, and then can you get D? And I mean, so it's a sometimes very confusing, very overwhelming. So I stress to everyone, that's the importance of having an agent, someone you can sit down with who can take their time. There's no rush. We don't rush at the Anthony Gallant State Farm Agency. We make sure that you understand what you're getting, because like I always tell my 4,500 customers, the last thing you want to do is be surprised when you need to utilize anything. So we try to make sure that we take our time to make sure we, you know, listen, and then see if we have something that will meet what you need and what you communicated. That's the most important thing in this entire process for us, that we understand what your needs are and we have something that will meet your needs. But as you can see, there are a lot of different components within these plans, but I feel very confident that we have the, you know, we're there, we have the resources, we have the partnership with Humana that will provide for almost any of your needs. And I just wish I could talk about these new programs they have. I can't until tomorrow. But with that being said, we welcome any questions. I'm asking Norman to come back up here, and we'll be more than happy to entertain any questions.
Okay, I have several questions. Okay, you see all these commercials on TV about seniors getting groceries under Medicare. You see also paying back the Part B payment on some of these supplemental plans. So what's real?
Okay. Well, all of that's real. All of that's real. And we can't talk about the specifics of plans, but I can say all that's real. And with any plan, even the original Medicare, you have a Part B premium that you have to pay. And it was this year, 2023, $164, and that comes normally out of your Social Security check. Some people mail it in or, you know, send it in separately, but it's more convenient actually to come out of your check. So that's something that's standard. I don't care what plan you have, you're going to be paying for Part B. And that's something that, you know, once we sit down and, you know, talk to you about, or you can just get more information about that as well. So Part A is free, basically. Some people, but not very many, have to pay for A under certain circumstances, but B, you have to pay for, no matter what plan you're in. So when they talk about the give back, people like that. It's real. It's real. And the grocery, all that stuff, that's real. The plans are doing that.
Okay, but isn't that costing more? I mean, you got to pay the plan. So is that increasing the amount of the plan? And I know you can't talk about Humana's, and I'm not asking that.
Right.
But, okay, even things like rent, offsets, or whatever it is.
It's real.
But somebody's paying for that.
The government.
So if a person only gets A and B, they don't get anything else, because you're not getting dental, vision, hearing, or drugs. So they're not they don't receive, but because they go out and engage with these private insurance plans and pay those extra premiums for that,
Well,
then the government will kick in extra money for those things, huh?
well, sometimes there's no extra premium. Can depend on your income. It can depend on, you could get, even with the drugs, you could get what's called extra help with that. If you only make a certain amount of money, then you might not even have to pay, or very minimal, for your drugs. So that's why we pay Social Security. They're trying to get rid of it, but we're paying money into Social Security. So the government is supposed to have that money.
Okay,
Just like you have Medicare.
that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, Medicare, people with Medicare. So Medicare partners with, they're both government, but they partner together. And people on Medicare, they're paying maybe $2 or $3 for their drugs, and some of these other things, they're not paying anything. So it depends on your circumstance, and we're paying for it every time you get a paycheck.
And I think the most important thing is that we listen to what your needs are, and we match up with a plan that would meet those needs. So that's the most important thing in this entire process, listening and then matching. So, and that's what we'll be able to do for you.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean more money all the time.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't mean more money.
If you're on Facebook or, you listen to us live, please send in a question. We'll be more than happy to answer it, or anyone in the audience, we'll be more than happy to address as much as we can.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
My question is, I'll be turning 65 in November, and I know I'm in that period of, I'm supposed to sign up. Initial
Enrollment period.
Okay. But I'm still working.
Okay.
So do I still need to sign up in that initial period?
Yeah, you're eligible. You're eligible
So I
to
still
get
need to
that as
sign
health
up?
coverage. Do you get coverage, medical?
Through my employer?
Yes. Okay, so you can opt not to have B.
But I still need to sign up for A?
Yeah, you could have, because you can get more benefits, hospital, if you go into the hospital. A covers hospital coverage, hospice care, home health care. A covers inpatient hospital care. So you still, yes. Yeah, you still need A, and you can still sign up for C.
Well, C I won't need because that'll be through my employer.
Oh, are they offering? Some companies offer like a medical plan for seniors. Does your company?
I'm a government employee, so.
Okay,
Yeah, so you won't
okay,
find out, but-
okay.
So all that would be covered. I guess my question was, when am I supposed to sign up? And
You can sign up now.
that would be part B?
Okay, so then that'll be probably a special enrollment period for you, so you get, because sometimes if you don't sign up for B when you need to, you're gonna pay a penalty.
Right.
So you would be in the considered special enrollment. You can sign up for B after
After I
you
retire.
retire.
But I still
Yes.
need to sign up for A. I just
Yes.
want to, okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
ma'am.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
That's what I love about Center Baptist. They're always so engaging.
They are, I love that too.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
I am with Cigna Insurance. I'm
Okay.
68 years old,
Okay,
be 69 the 28th of October, and I'm a widow and I live alone.
okay.
A few weeks ago, I was rushed to the hospital due to some pain that was in my chest, moved all the way up to my earlobe. But anyway, I noticed, they had all of my information at the hospital and everything. So, and I haven't got a bill, for it. So I thank God. I hope they don't
Yeah,
send me one.
Yeah.
But from from what I heard from one of the nurses, she said, "Yeah, we looked at all of your stuff. You don't have to even worry about paying." Okay, what? I mean, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
They keep on.
Mhm.
What else can I do to? Cause like I said, I'm a widow and I live alone.
Right.
What else can I do to up things for me in the future?
Okay, so you need to come in the first thing is come into our office.
Okay.
And look at, you might be eligible for special needs, so like when you go to your primary care doctor and you,
Mhm.
I don't know if you have prescriptions now.
I do.
Okay, so you might be eligible for reduced amount for your prescription drugs.
That'd be great, yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm on Nivolin and Lanaprose and Estravastrin.
Okay, so we can look up those drugs, see which drug plan offers that,
Mhm.
and give you, information.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
And another important thing too is that, you know what, we definitely are so happy with the people who are here in the audience and the people who are participating and listening to us via Facebook Live. But it's just as important because you know other people, you have your, aunts or cousins or brothers or sisters or neighbors who may be looking at different plans. We want to make sure that they know that we are.
Annette, so Annette is in her initial enrollment period. You can make an appointment to talk with us. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's gonna be October 1st anyways, but, yeah. But, even if it was before, if you're in that initial period, then you could get information for that year. So the people that, from this October, period, the annual enrollment period, their plans are gonna start in January 1st. But your plan could start a month after you sign up before this initial enrollment period, if that makes any sense. If you're in that 7-month period, you can sign up, and then when you sign, well, you have to be 65 though, once you're 65. Okay, yeah, so you can, sign up for a plan. And then it would, renew with the 2024 plans. So you got your card, you're good with, okay, but they should be sending you that very soon. Yeah, you should have that, but, okay, yeah, but, yeah, keep the A and, tell them you don't want the B. But we could talk more about it, too. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Any other questions or any clarification that we need to make? Yes, that's probably a very good question, right? We are, there's 2 ways to get in touch with us. Obviously, you can go to our website. It's www.anthonygallant.com. You can give us a call at 704-853-8001. That's the number to our office. Or you can come by our office. We're located at 1004 Union Road. We are directly across the street from the old Carolina Barbecue off of Union Road. And when you go there, you'll see this sign with some guy's picture on it. That might be me. And you can just come into the office. We encourage you, if you would like to, have further discussions, to set an appointment. But hey, if you just stop by, that's fine too. We'll make time for everyone. Again, we can be you can 3 ways to contact us. www.anthonygallant.com is the website. The phone number is 704-853-8001, or our office is located at 1004 Union Road, directly across the street from the old Carolina Barbecue on Union Road. So we are very accessible. We're open from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And we do appointments, obviously on the weekend if there's a set appointment. It has to be set. It's football season. I Can't come out there and nobody don't show up now. I'll tell you, I'm coming to your house. No, but we will. So, there's, we're very accessible. And again, you guys, anyone that's in the Baptist where we are, because they'll tell you where we are located also, because we have thank God, we have a great relationship with this church and their members. So, we're just excited, because this is an entire new educational opportunity that we have for our policyholders. And we're just looking forward to engaging, looking forward to having, frank, good conversations and listening to what your needs are to make sure that we can take care of you today and going forward.
Again, I want to thank everyone at Center Baptist. They're very welcoming, so that's, very encouraging. And they want to educate their congregation and the people in the community. And I think that's important, that we provide education for the community, because that's going to be a stronger community. So I really appreciate y'all. I really appreciate Mr. Gallant and his agency and what he's doing for the community. So it gives me great pleasure to be a part of a team like that. And, I'm not claiming to know everything, but I will find out answers to things that I don't know. So, please, contact us.
I think I have one more.
Can you just repeat the statement so social media will hear it? I had no idea that there were doctors who did not accept Medicare. When y'all said that, it just blew, because I thought every doctor accepted Medicare.
Oh, they don't have to. The doctors, some doctors don't have to accept Medicare, but I think a lot of them feel it's to their advantage to do so. And then some services, they might not accept what's called the Medicare assignment. They might not accept that. And sometimes you have to pay what's called the excess charge. Some of it Medicare will cover, but if they charge over that, then you're gonna have to pay for the difference. So doctors don't have to accept Medicare, but it's to their advantage, so most of them do.
Again, thank you, Center Baptist. Thank you, Don. Thank you to the After the Benediction, Life After the Benedictions educational series. Thank you for having the Anthony Gallant State Farm Agency to share a few words with you today regarding Medicare, the components of Medicare and the Medicare Advantage plans. We look forward to communicating with you in the future. Thank you so much.
And thank you again, Mrs. Gallant. In closing, let me remind you that we are going to be posting this workshop on Facebook, as well as, what's the other thing? YouTube. So feel free to look it up. It's been very informative. The other thing is that we will not be having a workshop during the month of October. The next workshop is going to be on November 4th. And you'll be seeing my face again. I'll be presenting on veterans benefits. You can come, tell your friends about it, tell people who are thinking about going into the military so they can be prepared while they're in there, because it's something that they won't know until it's too late. We'll be talking about the actual benefits, including burial benefits, health benefits, educational benefits, as well as compensation and pension. So feel free to come out. We'll be available by both Facebook and YouTube, but you'll get your answers to your questions faster if you come in person. We like to see faces in their places. Okay. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you again to Ms. Gallant and Ms. Galbraith. We appreciate everything. Ms. Gallant's last name is spelled Gallant. I know I have a spelling problem. I transpose letters quite frequently. So just to let you know, it's G as in golf, A as in apple, L as in Larry, L as in Larry, A as in apple, N as in Nancy, T as in Tom. Let's close in prayer. Thanks everyone for listening and as well as being here. Bow your heads, please. Dear Lord, thank you for this time. We thank you for the enrichment of the information that we've received today. We thank you for your bountiful blessings for us, and let it continue as we go throughout this day and the rest of our time here on earth. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.